Today's true scary story was titled from the submitter, "I think my roommate was a serial unaliver." This story is insane, you guys. And the ending of the story just kind of clarifies things. If you want me to tell your true scary story and recount it on here, there's actually a website now in my bio, and you can just go to the link tree and hit submit story. It's that easy. This submitter's name is Harley, and she said that I could tag her and use real names, like everyone's real name. So this is actually awesome. She'll be tagged in the description. So in 2008 to 2009, Harley lived in a house with her then boyfriend in Newport, Oregon, with an older woman and her middle son Rodney and her 3 dogs. They were renting a room from this woman. Now, Harley always got the creeps from Rodney. She said that he was very strange, but she kind of just chalked it up to his eccentric personality. She said that he was a Gemini kike, I think the word is. I looked this up and it basically means it's a Gemini. If you know, you know. So Rodney spent most of his time playing online poker and growing. So they lived in Oregon. This is kind of normal. And her boyfriend's job was to remodel a McDonald's that was an hour away. So her boyfriend was an hour away a lot of times. One specific day, she's at home washing the dishes and Rodney is also home. And Rodney randomly comes up to her and asks her if she wants to partake. And she says she does. She says that usually Rodney did also, but this time he didn't partake. He tells her that he needs to go tend to his crops, and so he leaves. She takes about 3 puffs and then she continues doing the dishes. A couple minutes later, Rodney comes back in and he starts playing on his computer, which is weird because he just told her that he was gonna go tend to the crops. But she doesn't really think anything of it until she starts to feel dizzy and nauseated, like really bad. So she starts walking towards her bedroom and she tells Rodney, "Listen, I do not feel good. Something is wrong with me." And he doesn't even look at her. He says, "Okay, I'll finish the dishes," and he goes over to the dishes and starts washing the dishes. She said that her bedroom is right by the kitchen, so she did not have that far to walk. So she starts walking towards her bedroom. She gets to her bedroom and she literally just collapses on the floor. Everything went hazy and black. She could barely see anything or hear anything, and she could barely even move. She was absolutely terrified and she felt like crap. She closes her eyes and she seriously thinks that she is not going to survive what is happening to her. That's how terrible she felt. When her dogs come over to her and they start licking her face because they're worried about her. The crazy thing is Rodney after that came in and took the dogs out of the room. He sees her laying on the floor, literally with her eyes open, looking like she's about to be unalived, looking terrible. And he doesn't say anything or do anything but take the dogs out. Doesn't call 911, doesn't ask her if she's okay, nothing. So she eventually comes to a little bit and she manages to crawl up in her bed and just collapse in her bed. And her boyfriend eventually gets home, and Rodney, before he walks into the bedroom, just tells him, "Hey, listen, Harley got sick." She thinks that he actually thought that she was unalived at this point. At that time, Harley hadn't put 2 and 2 together, and that was until later on they found a news article a couple months later. In the article, there was a cold case that was reopening up about the 90s when a bunch of teen girls went missing in the same neighborhood that they were living in. Harley said that Rodney and her mother had lived in that house since the 80s, and a couple weeks after this news article came out, Rodney actually moved to Alaska. While Rodney was gone, her boyfriend used to drive Rodney's van all around, and one time her and her boyfriend were in the van and they get pulled over by the police, and the police have no other reason to pull them over except for to ask who the vehicle's registered to. They tell him, and then the cops ask where he is, and that is the end of discussion. There was no other reason for being stopped, and this is when the math started mathing, she said. So her and her boyfriend had ended up moving back to their hometown after this, but they found out later that they had found the suspect, but she does not believe that this suspect was acting alone at all. She says that she has every reason to believe that her roommate was a part of this. She said that her experience was too uncanny and scary for this not to be the case, and she wants to know if anybody in the Newport area knows anything about this cold case file and anything about maybe the suspect, and if you guys think that he is actually guilty of this crime. So what do you guys think? Because I think that everything could have been a coincidence until they got stopped by the police in that van and they were so interested in who it was registered to and where he was. Also, the fact that he moved to Alaska right after this cold case file came back opened, that is very odd to me. These are also real names, you guys, so if you want to go ahead and go look this up, go ahead and look it up. If you have any questions for her, like I said, she will be tagged. She can answer them in the comments. I am also going to be doing a little series on crime and paranormal. I would like to have stories that are like mixed with crime and paranormal, kind of like the Amityville horror case, which I will be covering soon, by the way. So if you guys have any stories that deal with crime and paranormal, I would love to hear them. Also, if you have any other scary stories, whether they're just paranormal or even crime, let me know. I'm also going to be covering a lot on mimics and I love you guys so, so much. You guys mean so much to me. Thank you so much for all your sweet comments and all of your support. Also, my name is Kaisa. I give true scary stories on here every single night. So if you like that, hit that follow button or subscribe wherever you are. But other than that, thank you guys so, so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this story. And I just need you to do one more thing. And what is that? Have a spooky night. Love you guys. See you in the next one.